Hi, my name is James Rayburn, a private client advisor at Harrison Brook, and today in this video we're going to talk about what happens to your pension when you move abroad. One of the main concerns that our clients come to us with is what happens to their pension when they move abroad. For example, their pensions that they've left in the UK, and let's say they've moved to the US, and they're not sure what the treatment is of that pension. In short, it stays exactly the same. So the benefits are still going to be there, the funds will still be invested, but the only concern you may have is who's looking after the pension, what currency is it invested in, and what are the underlying funds, as you may no longer have control of this. So the answer to this question would depend entirely on your current pension provider. More often than not nowadays, post-Brexit, especially in the EU, UK pension providers will only offer two options. For example, companies like Aviva and Standard Life, etc. They will encourage you to take the whole amount as a lump sum, or encourage you to purchase an annuity. So the most favourable option of flexi access drawdown tends to be rarer these days, although it really does depend on the scheme, so it's important that you query that with your provider. This would primarily be the biggest concern for you should you move abroad and leave your pensions in the UK. Typically with a company scheme, you would be in a one-size-fits-all low-cost solution. So for example, it'd be a mix of equities and fixed interest securities. These are called lifestyle funds, so generally your pension provider will tweak the portfolios depending on your age. However, sometimes it's not overly appropriate. For example, if you're 40 years old and you're not retiring to your age 60, you should probably be quite an adventurous fund and very much invested in equities as opposed to fixed interest securities. So again, it's something to keep an eye on, because it could be costing you in the long run in terms of the attitude to risk and your capacity for loss, especially if you're not looking to draw down at any time soon. So as an expat, you have three real options that you can pursue here. The first one, and the most obvious, leave everything as it is. So leave your current pension provider with the UK, whether that's a company scheme or a personal scheme. As previously mentioned, the only concerns you may have is what happens to the ongoing management, and do I have full flex access drawdown? So those are the two concerns if you do pursue option one, which is leaving the pension. Alternatively, you can transfer to an international SIP or a QROPS, a qualified recognised overseas pension scheme. Now, which of those you would look to use would depend entirely on your situation, for example, the value of your pension, and also your location. So for example, we would never recommend a QROPS if you're outside the European Economic Area, because you'd incur a 25% overseas transfer charge, so you'd lose 1/4 of your pension upon transfer. In that scenario, you'd probably look to use an international SIP. Now, the international SIP would be very similar to a UK pension scheme. It is a UK pension scheme, but it's designed for non-residents. So what we mean by that is it will allow you full flex access drawdown, no matter where you are in the world, and you wouldn't be imposed with any restrictions. You'd have full management of the investment options, or have an advisor manage it for you. So the answer really does depend on where you're located, and obviously, of course, your priorities and the value of the pension, as there are certain tax considerations to bear in mind. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this informative, and if you do have any questions or any queries, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Thank you very much.